It's Wednesday, and we're going live. It's time to go live. What up, Scott, man? Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out. It's new comic book day. Let's talk comic books. Hope everybody else is having a great day. This has been quite the adventurous week with comic books. Rhino, what's up, man? Good to see you. It's been quite the adventurous week. I took yesterday and ended up driving around for 6 hours hunting in a different state because I found a half-price books within a few hours of my house. And it's awesome. I called them the day before. Yeah, we'll be open. Standard rules apply. All right, great. I'll be there. I roll into the parking lot. No power and closed for the day. Okay. So I ended up driving around, checking out a couple other spots. Found some pretty cool digging holes or digging places to dig. Some long boxes, Found some of the long box bling, if you will. But yeah, grab something cold to drink. Let's hang out and talk comic books. Hope everybody else's Wednesday is going really well. Mine's been going great. I've been super busy. I had a lot of fun, way more fun than I probably should, tinkering with making that introduction or that opening to go live. I kind of like bridging that gap between edited content and live content, where it takes an entire day pretty much on my old archaic computer to edit and render a video. So I'm like, what if I just do a 20 to 40 second opening and then just go live? This is a fun little experiment. And I got quite the haul of books here. When I got my email last night from my LCS, I only had like four books on there, or no, 5 or 6 books. And then when they did their walkthrough video of everything that came in, hey, Montegro, thanks for stopping in, man. Thanks for hanging out. I saw a couple other on the shelf. I'm like, hey, could you add that to my pull list if a copy's available? I'd greatly appreciate it. Yeah, sure enough, they landed in there. And then I realized, I've got a couple of book club things coming up. So I started out by grabbing, I'm really excited for this. I'm a huge sci-fi fan, and I love Jeff Lemire's writing. So Descender, we're going to be reading this on JP Budget Collecting's channel on the 18th, which is a Tuesday night. So there's going to be probably 3 or 4 of us. I'm really looking forward to this. Like I said, a huge sci-fi fan. I've heard nothing but good things about this. So really looking forward to that. And, Image, that $9.99 introductory price for a trade puts a few more bucks in your pocket, Looking forward to that. Like I said, hope everybody else is having a great day. I worked through a massive headache this afternoon trying to figure out what volume of Thor we're reading on Modern Men this upcoming Monday. We picked it. It got voted for. It got picked. It's actually Volume 4 Thor, Volume 1. And then there's a follow-up to that as well. And finally found that. Definitely look forward to reading that as well this Monday. Or I'm reading it this weekend for Monday. And then there was a new book out today called Horizon Zero Dawn. I wasn't quite sure it was going to be up my alley, but my LCS gave me a free comic book day version that I think this was a prequel. They said, check it out, see if you like it. Always love free comic books. See if that's going to be decent. It's supposed to be a sci-fi read. We'll see. I think it's based on a PlayStation 4 game, I think. And apparently this comic book that's coming out is going to bridge the gap story-wise between the PlayStation 4 game and then the new PlayStation 5 game coming out soon. So stop it. Thor fit the topic. Yeah. That topic's going to be the confusing numbering system that Marvel and DC and other companies have used for the last few years on when you get the same writer, the same artist, and the same colorist, and they do 3 or 4 different volumes of a run. And then you're like, well, what run did we want to read? I spent at least a half an hour in my LCS trying to find the right one. I actually had to ask the guys behind the desk to help me out. I'm like, look, this is what we're looking for. How do I know which one is it? Because, Carson's got the hardcover, and on the hardcover, there's a couple extra issues in the back, so that makes it a little confusing. Hey, Tony, what's up, man? Good to see you. So, yeah, that Horizon Zero Dawn I'm going to check out. That Descender I picked up for the read on JP's Budget Collecting on the 18th. Really looking forward to that. Now, this one is, I still feel, this is geared for a younger audience, but I still feel like this is going to be a very fun read. And even if it's not something that I continue to read, I think my son in time will read it. It's Star Wars Clone Wars Battle Tales. So I got cover A and also got the RI, the retailer incentive. I didn't read the first two yet. It's kind of one of those things where I find myself picking up 5 or 6 issues and then I'll sit down and I'll read a whole arc. I'll set those aside. Those should be fun. A couple more of those. Hey, Solo Wookie, good to see you, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Thank you to we got 6 watching. Hey, thanks. This is just a kind of a weird time. I think I'm going to start doing new comic book day hauls live on Wednesdays. Just do a quick opening and try to just go live around lunchtime. The reason why I'm going much later than I planned on was I spent 2 or 3 hours making that opening and was having fun and trying different things, and just editing a 40-second video shouldn't take 2 hours, but that's why I need to build a new PC. Going on to Marvel, issue 5 of Guardians of the Galaxy. That's been pretty fun, so I'm going to keep picking that up. Al Ewing's doing a good job with that. And I got lucky with Thor 3 third printing. They didn't get very many of these. I wasn't a huge fan of the cover, but what I am a huge fan of is some of those second, third, and fourth printings in the short print runs. Those shorter print runs, I'm kind of a fan of them. I like chasing scarcity. I don't know what that print run's going to end up being until much later, until Comic Con can get it posted or somebody else can figure that out. But when I see my LCS is only getting a couple of copies of these, I'm going to try to make sure that those are on my pull list, or try to order those ahead of FOC, get 1 or 2 copies or something like that. I should. Yeah, I know. Are you talking Solo Wookie? Are you talking about the Star Wars Battle Tales run? Or the Clone Wars Battle Tales? Because I heard that there might be a very real possibility that some of those characters being introduced in that series over the first couple of arcs could eventually end up in a Disney Plus show or something like that. But next up in Marvel, I don't know what the print run of this is. I know I've seen quite a few people talking about it, and I know that I didn't see hardly any out anywhere, and that's Thor 4. What is the second printing? Super cool cover. I wish I would have ordered a couple of these, like 2 or 3 covers, pre-FOC. It just went right under my radar. Really enjoy it. This is just a straight up cover buy for me. I really liked it. Love the colors. I love Black Winter on the cover, and we all know how big Galactus is, right? And he's just dwarfed down there. That's super cool. That's been a really fun read. I wasn't last year. I wasn't the biggest fan of Donny Cates, just because every tweet, every social media post he put out, it's like, this book's going to be the next big book. This book's going to be the next big book. And I was like, I got kind of tired of it. But what he's done with Thor, and I got back on Venom around the Venom Island thing. It's been fun. It's been a really good read. I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I hope you guys have been too. If not, let me know. Be interested to see what other people think about it. And out this week, you guys, this community has made me a regular DC buyer now. I'm still stacking up Batman to sit down and read those. Really looking forward to it. People have said good things about the Joker War. A lot of people have said good things about Tinian. I think he started picking that up on 89 or 90. Hey, Fuchsia, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out. Just talking about new comic book day pickups. And I think this is one that everybody was looking for. Legends of the Dark Knights. Characters coming out. Oh, I could probably just sit here and do this instead of just reading them. Boop, 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 boop. Why isn't it not showing up? There we go. Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see. Hey, backseat driver. What did I forget how to host a show? I've been doing edited content on my channel so much that I forgot what it was like to host a show on my own channel. Yeah, I've been packing them away and stacking them up and waiting to read them. Unfortunately, I did get this copy, but I have not been reading any of the death metal stuff. So I'm at a bit of a disadvantage because I forgot to grab Death Metal 1 and 2 because they had some available in the back issue section. And now I'm going to have to run back and grab those because this is just going to sit off to the side until I can get caught up and then read this. So that's a one shot, if I remember correctly. And the controversy going around right now is with whether Robin King's first appearance is going to be that or it's going to be Death Metal 3, I think. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Hey, Warlord. Good to see you. Scott Evans. Yeah, they've gone nuts. Yeah. My LCS definitely was limiting those to one per person. So unless you went in ahead of time and specially ordered some, you're only going to get one. And funny thing is, I actually saw some customers passing it up. They just weren't interested, which, if that's not your thing, it's not your thing. Hey, Comic Foo, thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate you. Hey, great preview. If you guys haven't had a chance, stop over to Comic Foo's channel. He just did an unboxing of a pretty cool haul. It had a great chunk of Punisher stuff in there. It had a good Golden Age book in there as well. And those early, was it Fighting Armies, or those army books are awesome. If you find those on the low end and good grade, then I don't pass them up either. They just don't really exist in bins much where I'm at. Thank you to the 11 people watching. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to continue rolling on here. But yeah, so you guys, this community's really made me a regular DC pull kind of person with Batman run, wanting to read Tynion's run there. And just the buzz and everything that's going on. Of course I'm going to want to check that out. Of course I'm going to want to read that and see what the whole hype is about. And apparently it's like a psychotic Batman, like Batman Who Laughs, and haven't read any of it. The idea of a psychotic Batman and a crazy dark Batman, that's pretty neat. I'm going to have to dig in and get that stuff and read that. Tales from the Dark Side live stream later night, pre-recorded. Okay, cool. Yeah, I will do that. Shows off his Return of the Jedi proper. Ooh. Mike Morello? Yeah, Morello's got a lot of great Star Wars stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. A couple of years ago, Foo, he makes a great point, and StreamYard's lagging a little bit here. A couple of years ago, DC, like spec, DC hype really wasn't a thing. There wasn't a lot of buzz around DC. And it's interesting to see the buzz the last 6 months, 10 months. I don't know, Punchline, a couple other things. Trying to think. Naomi was really good buzz and then just tanked. But still, it's good to see some action from DC. It kind of draws me into wanting to read more and see what's going on. Now, earlier, for anybody that's just showed up recently, I've said that I'm a really big sci-fi fan. So I picked up Descender to read with JP's budget collecting on the 18th. And I was really interested in reading this. I'll probably read this today as soon as we get done going live. And that's just a perfect movie. So to see what kind of a take an original script has on this, or the original script. Yeah, it says original screenplay on the front. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to be. That's what I'm interested in reading this for, is to see what's different. But I love the Alien movies. I love that series. Like I said, huge sci-fi fan. It'll be interesting to see how they do the art in these, because that's one of the biggest draw to those movies is when you look at the way the sculpting's done and the art and the spaceships and everything in there. That was huge. That was a huge draw for that movie in that series. So we'll see what they do in the comic book. Those were my new comic book day pickups for the day, and I still had time to do a little bit of digging. Grabbed some back issues too. Oblivion Song is still sitting around for very fair prices in high grade. Print run was pretty high, I think. But there seems to be some movement, seems to be some action. So if you can find these $4 or $5, I'm going to grab them. Why not? I would like to get more 9/8s, so it'd be nice to send some of these out and get another 9/8 or two. Walked home with 2 copies. I love that cover. One of these days, right behind me here, I'll crack that collector's edition box back there and pull that platinum book out and send it to CGC. I don't know if I can. There's an awesome statue in there I want to check out. Eric, hey, thanks for hanging out, man. The original Alien series art is awesome. Yeah, it was very controversial at the time when the movies came out, and how much innuendo and whatever term you want to use, how sexual the aliens were looking. Yeah, that pink signature one, Foo's right. That pink signature one is I wish I knew exact numbers. That pick signature's got to be, I mean, if you compared it to a ratio, it's got to be like a 1 in 10 or a 1 in 25 or something like that. But they were a lot harder to find than the cover A's, obviously. And then this was, I'm still pretty stoked about this find. I still think that in time, this is going to be one of the more iconic comic book covers of the current younger generation that's growing up with the Avengers movies and with the Marvels movies. So to be able to find a copy of this for Focus, $3, it's not going to focus for me. My camera's terrible. $3. And the only thing wrong with this was a little bit of blunting in the bottom corner. So it's definitely not a 9.8 candidate, but I'd be shocked if it wasn't a 9.4 or 9.6. It's just, in my opinion, an iconic cover. I love the art. I remember people paying $50 or $60 for this 2018, 2019. So to find one for $3 in a bin, yeah, that's coming home with me. And then because I didn't have this, and I probably way overpaid on this, and I wanted one. Free comic book day, and I overpaid for it. I know I did, but still. I haven't had a cover. I haven't had that cover before. Makes me want to look for some of those cheaper reprints so I can have them. They don't seem to be going down in price. Even like the 3rd and 4th prints in high grade are getting expensive. And then I did grab Captain America 25. I think heard some people talking that this book might pick back up, but you can find it cheap in a back issue bin. I didn't have a copy, so I'm like, absolutely. If I'm going to want to read that run, grab that. I think this one was a little bit more expensive in the past. Didn't want to let it sit there because it's in near mint condition. That's what I grabbed today. Hopefully everybody else was successful finding everything they wanted and ordering their stuff. Yeah, Comic Beards Assemble. Hey, Ruben. Thanks for popping in, man. Thanks for hanging out. 14 people watching. Appreciate it. It's kind of, like I said, just a random time for me to go. I didn't foresee myself going live this late in the day, but I took way longer than I wanted to make that opening. Now that the groundwork is set, all I got to do is drop a thumbnail in there and I can run with it. Hopefully I can do new comic book days around lunchtime every Wednesday. It'll be a lot of fun. I really enjoy talking comic books with you guys, and the buzz and the hype, seeing what's going on. The community's great about communicating back and forth about what's happening, where it's happening, where you need to be if you're interested in it. I missed out on that Bounty Hunter second print. I think my LCS only got a couple of copies. They had probably a handful go to their pull list. And on their video, as they were going down the shelves saying what they had in stock, I think I saw 1, maybe 2 copies in there. And I forgot to ask to have that added. I was like, I'll just grab one when I walk in there. And it was 2 minutes after they opened the door, 3 minutes after they opened the door, and they were gone already. So this was the busiest I had ever seen my LCS in the last 4 months. Excuse me, which is awesome because everybody knows LCSs right now, some of them are struggling. So that's why I'm really interested in trying to get ahead of the game, trying to pay attention to the FOC stuff, calling my LCS. Yes, I want a copy of that. Yes. Oh, hey, can I get 2 copies of this? I want to try to send one to CDC, This is a great question, Backseat. Hey, man. So if you got to open the book and you got to look on that interior cover and it'll tell you the printing date. There's a 2012, a 2014, a 2017, and I'm sure that it's still being reprinted, but right now CGC just recognizes the 12, 14, and 17. And actually, I should probably next time when I go to my LCS, check that stack of Image First books and look at the dates on the inside and see when they were printed last. Because if there's going to be a 19 or a 20, I'm going to have to grab a couple and press and clean them and see if I can get a 9.8 for the set. Because the more they print those, the more they're, it's just the tough thing about being a completionist collector, especially for Saga. That's the tough part about it. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Didn't have a guest today. Maybe I will in the future. We'll see what happens for, Wednesday kind of lunchtimes. It seems middle of the day is kind of quiet. Everybody's either out grabbing their books or out at work or something like that. So I'd like to try to slide in there around lunchtime right after I get something to eat and do a little live shindig here, because then everybody else will drop their content in the afternoon and the evenings. And then when my stuff's all done, then I can sit down and I can watch what everybody else has got going on. So I appreciate that. Everybody's got that going on. Thanks, guys. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'm going to go peace out. I'm going to go pinkies out. And I'll catch you on the flip side for the next video.